Udah streaming. Tes 1 2 3. 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. Lagu candu banget, Cok.
The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory.
Oh iya. Oh, gini. Oh iya. Lupa.
Add Astra app. Thank you for
Oh, makanya gue turun aja. Oke, tinggal di asing. Chat ngelag banget. Kan gitu lo bayar. Enggak lo, sama aja sih sudah. Yang tadi udah bagus. Kualitas bayangan menengah aja. Ventilasi nggak? Motion blur-nya dimatiin. Udah. Lah, lebih lancaran ini kocak. Ini kemana? Oh, lantai 2 kah? Halo, Galvarnyet. Calvariet. Nah anjir namanya, parah banget gua. Ah, Rasolino.
He's awake. Fremine, how do you feel?
Lenny. Lynette.
We're all here.
Where am I?
The infirmary, at the Fortress of Meripede, Mr. Fremine, and you are no longer in any danger. How do you feel? Don't push yourself if you're not feeling up to it.
Traveler. Paimon. It's been so long. The sea. There's something wrong with the seawater.
Shh, it's okay. We can talk about it after you've recovered.
No, listen to me. This is really serious. There's primordial seawater mixed into the regular seawater. I don't know why it's there, but no one should touch it. Pipes. Right, the pipes. It's all coming back to me now.
Kenapa pipanya? Take the man out of this.
I'm in. Seems like this pipe hasn't been used in a long time. It looks abandoned.
It's like abandoned.
Where could Master Child be?
Wih, tadi jadi preminent sih.
Frost is coming!
Sabar, sabar. Ini senjata sign ya kah? Royal Great Sword. Mantap. Awas, noblesse anjing. C3, oke. Talentanya oke. Paul Castro Jr.
Frost is coming!
Siapa tahu ada nggak ada chest cuy. Buset, canggih banget.
This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it?
Ini kenapa? Sabar. Oke. Kok dibalik sih tapi? Beda kehidupan interaktif kan? Mau kalau ke bawah apa? Gak ada apa-apa anjir. Iya. Sebentar. Oh, ada sono. I see. Ini ke atasnya, ini buat ke atas. Aha. Pindah. Mana? Bawah. Beda cuy, airnya cuy.
This is where the water starts. Okay. Master Child probably dived into the water. I'll go take a look as well. The vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces aren't natural. A person must have left them, and recently. I should be going in the right direction. There are traces here too.
Mana sih?
I need to keep going.
Nggak kelihatan anjay. Asli nggak kelihatan.
The traces are gone. But I don't see where he could have gone from here. Wait. What the? My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. What's going on? No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it.
Oh iya cuy, udah ungu. Alah.
I can't die here. This is bad. I'm feeling worse and worse, and I'm still underwater. I have to push on.
Pingsan dia. Oh, klorin, cok. Ada klorin, ada mamah klorin.
So, in other words, the trail you were following vanished, and you had no idea where Master Child could have gone.
That's right. I tried my best to swim back, but I had already put some distance between myself and the fortress, and I just couldn't find the strength to keep going. I probably passed out some time after that, and you know the rest.
Miss Clarande brought you back, but we also don't know why she just suddenly appeared at the fortress, or why she went out to save you.
Miss Clarande, you say? I must go thank her in person.
You're still too weak, Fremine. You can go after you've had some more rest.
Miss Lynette is right. I believe Miss Clarande will stay here as a guest for another few days, so there's no need to hurry.
A guest? Then I can assume Risley was the one who invited her to come down here?
You should ask His Grace about that. He'll be able to explain better than me. Yeah, It's about time you actually told us what's going on. Wanna come with us, Lenny?
No, please go on without me. I don't want to leave just yet.
Lenny.
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but I still can't bring myself to leave. Both of you are just in danger.
Understood. Then let's just sit together for a while.
In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you. The Traveler and I are going to head out for now. As long as you stay in here, I don't think you'll be disturbed.
Thank you.
Oke. The Leech. Mana lagi pembagian rahasia zona terlarang. Oke, ke kantor Duke.
Excuse me.
Lucu banget.
I take it Mr. Fremonet's condition has stabilized?
Of course. I wouldn't have left the infirmary otherwise.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit, Miss Sejuin?
I wanted to check up on Miss Cloran. How are you feeling?
Mostly fine, I think.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another quick physical exam. It'll just take a few minutes.
All right. Thank you for looking out for me. I'll take my leave for now then.
Well, want to explain yourself, Risley?
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. How about enlighten? Where should I begin? How about you start by asking me any questions you have? You can start with whichever one you'd like to get answered the most.
Then Paimon will begin. Did you know about Lenny's goals from the very beginning?
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave. As for their specific goals, I only figured those out as you made progress on your investigation.
You managed to monitor and stay ahead of them even though you didn't know what they were trying to do?
They came here with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept at discerning what that kind of behavior signals. Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Child's disappearance. Linny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape, but in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did, from finding helpers to leaving this place, Of course, it's inevitable that the Knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's unexplained disappearance. I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went. So I figured I might as well let the Fatui do their own investigative work.
So you were hoping Lenny's group would just do your work for you?
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. I assume that Fremonet has told you already, the ratio of primordial seawater around the fortress of Meripede is on the rise. The Forbidden Zone has always been Linny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also to prevent the fortress from becoming entangled in more irksome matters.
Are the rumors true? That you're also a former criminal?
Nanya personal ya.
Now, why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself? Another form of prison? I just happen to have some support from the rest of the inmates. That's all.
Oh, right. Paimon wanted to ask, who invited Cloran down here?
Me, of course. I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress for some field work. As a champion duelist, Miss Cloran could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get through the impending crisis.
And saving Fremonet was part of that crisis?
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is quite adept at diving. Had conditions not been as hostile as they were, he probably would have found the missing Harbinger already. that's not something you should be asking after. Neuvillette only asked you to investigate Child's whereabouts. All I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance. That should be clear now that you've spoken to Fremine.
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about time that you answer our last question in return?
You make a compelling case. Do you really want to know the answer that badly?
Yeah, Paimon really wants to know.
Even if the truth may not be pleasant? Follow me.
Ooh. Follow what? Uh-oh. Internetnya down lagi kah? Shit.
Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever.
Alamak. Jaringan. Ngapa sih? Udah sih gagal. Apa ini? Udah sih gagal anjir. Kenapa sih, astagfirullah. Kacau. Jadi baik. Sumpah. Kok ini sih? Sabar. Nggak mau. Sudah matiin dulu. Cepet. Ikut Warsley, bentar. Gue sakit serius, nggak bohong.
Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever.
Ow, ow, ow. Turun ke bawah gitu.
There's a hidden door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Risley.
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the Fortress of Meripede is. Stand on the central plate.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa! So, this is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so well hidden, what a huge door!
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Hence the name Forbidden Zone. Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little Fatui friends everything?
Well, Paimon wasn't thinking of keeping anything from them.
Well, I'd advise you wait until you've seen the whole truth of this place for yourself before deciding whether or not to tell them.
Pembagian rahasia dan zona terlarang. Alah, dendro lagi ya ininya. Bentar. Sebentar, rekomendasi. Ay, kok nggak bisa sih? Nggak tahu lah, yang penting itu aja.
Huh. So there's a switch on the side.
Stand back.
Whoa. They all just went up one by one.
Go on, have a look.
Ada apa nih?
I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligent to simply ignore any potential danger that could be behind it. The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past year, the needle has crept upwards from its original position, likely because some parameter it's been tracking has changed, if only infinitesimally. Normally, I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Any guesses what the reading could be tracking?
Tekanan air.
Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both of those as well. Unfortunately, our dashboard is tracking something less ordinary. The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. We ran a few tests to increase the pressure from the outside, but the readings didn't change at all. Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the primordial sea. I began to make a few preparations based on that hypothesis. Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that, and the symptoms that Fremine displayed after leaving the fortress, I can now confidently conclude that the readings represent the concentration of primordial seawater in the seawater nearby.
The concentration of primordial seawater? But we're already under the sea!
And that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Somehow, primordial seawater got mixed in, and the concentration is steadily rising. Yes, that's very likely.
But forget about the two of us. Not even Novelette knows where the primordial sea could be, much less where we could find and plug a leak. Oh. Oh!
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the primordial seawater levels have risen significantly, and it's now very close to us. The indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater has already leaked out and mixed into the sea around us. If this continues, soon it will no longer be able to hold back the primordial sea at all. Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the span of a night.
But that's just too weird! Why would the Fortress of Meripede be built right above a sluice gate for the primordial sea? Who built this place anyway?
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. To be honest, you might find the actual answer maybe it's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it with my research. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. What we know about its history has been left to us by the people who used to. When the previous Hydro Archon, Egeria, ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The people drove the criminals away like a wolf pack chasing away the banished. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside, where they experienced only pain, struggle, and the bone-chilling cold. Some of them began to repent, and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon took pity on them, and said, "You may go guard my secret, deep underneath the waves." And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. They became a community down there in the deeps, and over the years helped it to grow. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of exiles died, they left the yet unfinished fortress to their successors. The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. Before long, this dark underwater fortress became the sinner's only home. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. They saw themselves as repenting sinners who would regain their freedom once they had sufficiently redeemed themselves. But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had gotten used to life here, they could no longer feel comfortable living in the overworld. Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls fade away with the ancient secrets of the past. After many, many centuries, few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now they just see it as an integral pillar of Fontainian society, as the place where criminals deserve to be sent. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this from an elderly historian. Everyone else just thought he'd made it all up.
But now you know every part of that history is true.
Indeed. It's just as the prophecy says. If this gate fails, then everyone will be dissolved into the sea. To be frank, not really. But sadly, that hasn't stopped this prophecy from proving all too accurate. Prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one will create the first wave of panic. Seeing signs of it will bring about the second, and actually witnessing it in real time, the third. Let's go somewhere else. I want to show you something.
Okay.
This is it.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from our last round of experiment.
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone. Huh? Lorvine and Jurier?
No need to panic, you two. I've already told them about our plan.
What? After you warned us not to tell a single soul about any of this?
I'm skeptical as well. Are you sure they are trustworthy?
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may already know more than you could ever imagine.
All right then, if your grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
Well, how about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine Research Institute. He used to work under Edwin. I trust that you've heard of Edwin? Good. Saves me a bit of time explaining. Edwin's main areas of research were archeum and gravimeters. As his assistant, Jurier is quite familiar with them as well. I hired him to be my technical consultant.
You want to blow up the fortress of Meripede?
What a lovely idea. I'm already imagining it in my head.
Gotta admit, I'm tempted as well.
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants. While Jurier used to be Edwin's assistant, she used to be Jurier's assistant.
Ooh, are they together?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a couple and just using your work as a convenient cover?
Your Grace, I am not in a relationship with this man.
If I dated her, I'd officially be madder than Edwin.
Jeez, forget I said anything then. Follow me.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
But Paimon really thinks everything's super cool.
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
What a huge ship! This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before. What's going on?
How much do you know about Fontainian history?
Not much at all.
Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. To give you a quick rundown, Fontaine used to be ruled by the Lemurian dynasty. According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a golden bee. Taking the golden bee with him and riding on a huge ship, the Fortuna, he created his nation above the surging waves. He called his nation Lemuria and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and islands, calling on them to join his empire.
There's a ship in this story too?
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always be found at the end of a voyage.
Do you believe that too?
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology at my disposal. Certainly can't hurt to give it a try. So the moment I began to speculate that the primordial sea might lie underneath the gate, I also began this project.
Were you inspired by the legendary Fortuna?
Keren banget, cowok.
Maybe. Fontainians need something to hold on to cope with the impending disaster. Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than any catastrophe. As the fortress's administrator, I'd never make such a reckless call. All right, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea to soothe my throat. Do you have any other questions? Seems like you're good. Come on, I'll take you back.
Dia nanya. Disorder.
I'll leave you here for now.
Oh, thank you so much.
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw. What you do from here on out will likely affect those 3 as well.
Hey, bes. Pape. Halo.
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it for sure.
Great. I look forward to what happens next.
Iti. Dapat promo kah? Ah, enggak anjir. Jelek. Oke. Bentar. Kembali ke klinik.
We're back!
Welcome back. Do you want a cup of tea?
How can you be so much like Risley, always drinking tea?
Wifi integer, nggak bisa live. Siapa wifi lu kah? Masa nggak bisa live sih?
Huh. Actually, now that you mention it, I just remembered something now. While I was sedated, I could still barely hear two people talking next to me. They were discussing everything, from the leaves to the water and even the teacups themselves.
Must have been Risley and Sishween.
Yeah, I heard one male voice and one female, so it should have been the two of them.
I really can't make sense of this place.
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to learn anything from Risley?
Yeah, he explained everything.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations? Yeah, I took the time to rest, so I'm feeling a lot more relaxed now.
Nobody else is
more
around,
relaxed
and Miss
now.
Sijween is also busy with something or other. So let's just talk here.
All right, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself 3 questions. Firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was because he dove into the sea. My theory is, the long-lost primordial sea is probably very close to the fortress of Mirapede.
Betul.
Ooh, he's good.
That's our Lenny.
Secondly, Risley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us completely at first, then suddenly roadblocked us. Why? I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very beginning, he probably ignored us at first because he was hoping we could find Master Child for him. What's more, the Fortress of Mirapede is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it report to Udex Nervulet. Risley is basically the king of a no-man's land. As long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. And while the two factions are pitted against each other, Risley will be free to move between the parties of interest. If I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself. It's likely related to the secret of the infirmary, but I just can't think of what it could be.
Sumpah nih karakter pinter sih.
You're super smart.
Thanks so much.
Okay.
Then finally, there's the last question. If Risley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has something to do with the changing nature of the seawater. He's even gotten Cloran to help him out. That can't be the full extent of what he's doing. There's probably a secret passageway behind the block in the infirmary, and there's something big in the fortress that most people here never get to see. He has a bargaining chip, and it could be important enough for Father to deal with him directly. I don't have enough information, so I have no idea what his chip might be. But let me guess. You have the last piece of the puzzle.
You have the last piece of the puzzle. Yeah.
I can't believe it.
The sea will engulf everyone. Just like the prophecy said.
Could Risley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal with this crisis?
Masa satu
If you
negara
remember,
tenggelam aja?
I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her base of operations, and she truly wants to resolve the crisis. But how could Risley have known that?
Oh, berarti bentar lagi ini bakal tenggelam ya? Wow.
Or perhaps he didn't know and just wanted to bring Father over to his side, which could be why he said he just wanted to negotiate.
Oh, keren sih ini. Ini kalau nyampe.
That makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well, Traveler. I'll figure out a way to pass this on to our father. No matter what, we're on your side. The two of you have already aided us far too much. We probably wouldn't be standing here right now if not for you.
Keren ini kalau misalnya banjir gede, Cok.
If you ever need anything else going forward, please come to the House of the Hearth at any time. Though you may not share the sentiment, After all that we've gone through together, the three of us basically see you as family now.
Oke.
You have my gratitude.
Thank you for protecting Linny when it really mattered. And thank you for sharing the secrets of the fortress with us. We didn't think you were going to do it.
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden?
Biasa saja lah. Anjing lapar.
Paimon's hungry.
Oh, you've done so much already. Go get some food.
Lapar.
We'll catch you guys another time.
Aku nunggu ini, Cok. Nunggu apa namanya? Banjirnya keren sini. Bakal keren nih. Satu negara. Bentar. Segede gini, coy. Masa ntar ketutup semua sih? Keren, Cok, kalau beneran apa? Kalau beneran banjir semua. Mana sih? Lantai dasar ya.
It's time for dinner. Welfare meals now being served in the coupon cafeteria.
Come on, let's go pick up ours as well.
Astagfirullahaladzim. Kamu tuh ya, kalau komen tuh kadang suka diblokir mainnya loh. aku nggak bisa gituin deh. jangan biarin.
Traveler and Paimon, over here.
Karena suka ditahan ini sama filter ini ya, Cok, sama filter komentarnya. Bukan aku yang
Are you
ituin.
here for dinner too, Miss Sijwin?
And I'm taking the opportunity to prepare Miss Cloran's dinner as well.
Huh. You're right. She's actually sitting in the fortress cafeteria.
What would you like to eat? Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like.
Anjir.
Me too. Don't forget Paimon.
No problem. Just leave it to me.
Just leave it to me. Saya lucu banget, Cok. Jujur minum ini terus tapi kasih itu lumayan. Kamu
So delicious.
Mantap jiwa. Mantap jiwa.
Paimon's so happy. Paimon wants to feast like this every day.
Feeling full yet? How's the food?
Delicious.
I'm so glad to see you all so happy. Oh, see the expression on your face just now? The muscle here just moved, which suggests that you're feeling quite relaxed at the moment.
Okay.
Sijwin, do you do this to help your patients or to better understand human beings?
A bit of both, I suppose. I'm a Melazine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I want to take good care of you.
Aku mau dong. Aku mau.
You're really good at taking care of people. Even though you're so short, you still talk and act like an older sister.
Really? You're reminded of an older sister? That's great to hear.
Lucu banget, Cok.
Oh, and what did you mean back in Risley's office? When you said that you were protecting Linny and his siblings as well?
Oh, that. I just asked His Grace to look out for those children, especially that diver boy. I was getting a bit worried after hearing that something was wrong with the water. Thankfully, Cloran is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time. His Grace also sealed the pipes after Cloran left, to make sure that Linny wouldn't impulsively chase after his brother. Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone from approaching. They were instructed to only open the door once Miss Cloran had returned. Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linny as well. We had to press him, but we couldn't allow him to be in any real danger.
You were all super considerate and really thought everything through.
It's just what we do down here at the fortress. At least this has been His Grace's style for as long as he's been the leader. Oh, I really wish Monsieur Nervula would come down here more often too. I feel like he'd like it here, with all the darkness and chaos.
Cok, Aiter bingung, aku juga bingung, Cok.
Get a good night's rest, you two. You both worked very hard.
Nggak salah sebenarnya. Halo, aku mau ngomong dulu.
Clarand!
Ah, it's you two.
How's dinner?
It's alright. Miss Sijwin really put in a lot of effort.
So we heard that Risley invited you to come down to help, and you saved Fremine too!
Oh, it was child's play.
Still, Paimon didn't know even champion duelists could take on side jobs. Oh, and why aren't you eating with Sijwin and the Duke? Won't you get bored eating by yourself?
Miss Sijwin was with you. And the Duke has business of his own.
Actually, didn't Navia say that you went out for dinner with her as well?
Yeah. First time in a long time.
First time in a long time? So you mean you've gone out to dinner with her in the past?
In the past, yes. You seem to be enjoying yourselves here.
Termasuk kerja sih.
Things will be getting messy at the fortress soon. Don't run around unnecessarily.
Okay. So be it. Atas ya. Aku masih di sini aja sih. Nah. Iron point.
So much has happened. Paimon just feels absolutely exhausted now that she's finally relaxed. Paimon's super sleepy. Are you sleepy too?
Jadi ngantuk juga gue. Udah.
Delicious. Paimon wants seconds for free.
Out of my way! Get out of my way!
Huh?
What happened? Why is everyone running? No idea, but something must have happened. Stop asking!
Who's yelling?
Kenapa ini kenapa? Kenapa Cok? Kenapa ini kenapa?
What happened? Why is everyone running around? Hey, what are you doing?
There's no time to explain, mate. Goodbye.
Hey, wait! What's wrong with these people? They won't even talk to us.
They're here! There you are!
Oh, thank goodness!
Quisto and Lavaroon, do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone terribly wrong just now. His Grace is telling everyone to evacuate and get out of here. Lavaroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like that? An evacuation is successfully completed, yet you only find out once you do a head count that 1 or 2 people are missing.
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up? Why is it suddenly my idea?
Hey, shut up!
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with us. Yeah, he said to get as far away as possible, upwards and outwards.
Oh no, it can't be that thing!
Whoa, wait, what? What? Hey, where are you going?
We have to go find the Duke! You two just go and get out! Go on without us!
Hey! Be careful!
Attention! Please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer,
Harus cepet-cepet coy, cepet. Kenapa?
They're here.
Just like I said.
We have it!
You're just in time. But be ready to run. Three, two, one.
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense. The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
Wah, Cok, keren banget, Cok. Anjir, aku merinding, Cok. Sumpah keren banget, keren.
Traveler, I need you to head to the Opera House immediately. Farina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Farina and make sure she doesn't spend too much time alone with her. Will do. You have my sincerest gratitude.
Epic moment terus betul, Cok. Anjir, aku sampai tercengang. Ini kemana? Pergi ke gedung opera, oke. Dari Furina. Kenapa nih? Ada si ini.
Look, there are a ton of Fatui and Palais Mermonia people over there. The knave is probably here already. We need to hurry.
Are you two the traveler in Paimon? Monsieur Neuvillette has left instructions. Please follow me. Though I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation, unlikely to give rise to violence. But it would be most appreciated if you could protect Lady Farina to the best of your abilities.
Okay. Bahagia banget, Cok, ketemu gua, Cok.
Oh, so you two are the honored guests Miss Farina mentioned.
Of course. How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must always have 2 or more guests at my dessert table. Otherwise, the occasion would be too lonely and unbecoming of my station.
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments. I am the Knave, one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers.
Okay. Kedua istriku sedang akur. Istri kita, Bang.
I've already prepared seats for you. Come, sit beside me.
Mana ya? Bagi-bagi lah.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea when we had the time.
Wah, tuh gila.
See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores. There are only 16 slices sold every day. Here, why don't you and Paimon have a taste?
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
Ih, akur banget, Cok.
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Farina and I. I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing. I'm really worried about his safety, you know. Here's to hoping that he's an excellent swimmer.
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something. His martial prowess really looked certainly pretty impressive, yeah.
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Farina. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Child was subdued by Udex Nuvillette right in front of you. Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, he just never imagined he'd run into such a person. I must express my admiration for Monsieur. Coming from you, that's not surprising at all.
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier. As you well know, a long time has passed since Child disappeared.
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry. We know for sure that Child is still alive.
Tapi di mana dia kalau hidup tuh?
And just how do you know that?
Nah, bener kan?
Because we found evidence that proved he left the Fortress of Mirapede.
So.
And where did he go after leaving the fortress?
Well...
The Fortress of Mirapede lies deep beneath the waves. Unless he pranced right out of the main gate, he must have had to swim for it. Do you have any proof that he surfaced safely? Ah, that is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. Since he was unfortunately unavailable, I picked it up on his behalf. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me feel like we were still enjoying our time in Snezhnaya together. I'm currently admiring the scenery on the streets in front of the opera house. Is it something like that?
It's something like that. Ada aku lagi minum.
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as the contents are accurate, it doesn't matter so much how it's written or how it's worded. Huh?
Uh-oh.
Hold on. The water in the teacup is shaking.
I suppose this is also a sign of things to come, Miss Farina.
Huh? I don't quite understand what you're trying to say.
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day. This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe. This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
Wow. Lucu, epic banget, Cok. Asli. Gak nyesel aku main sampai sekarang, Cok. Gak nyesel aku main sampai sekarang, seriusan.
Alright. Seems like the problem inside has been suppressed.
Let me guess, we're safe for now.
Indeed. But only for now.
I win this bet. You owe me a present.
Very well. It was indeed just as you said.
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you wouldn't come down by yourself.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears I underestimated just how confidential the mission was.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now? That's just how the courts operate.
So what gift must the loser give? Tea?
He already has tons of tea in his office. I'm thinking about a set of legal codices.
Misalnya nggak gacha novel. Semalam nonton special program. Emang ada? Adakah? Coba berarti kalau ada special program berarti kan ada kode penukaran kan? Aku nggak tahu loh, seriusan. Aku semalam ketiduran, Cok.
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness, would it?
masih bisa ini gak? Klaim gak? Aduh, kayaknya nggak bisa sih.
I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be outside the law.
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be uninterested in the legal codices.
Serius sih? 300 primo, lumayan, Cok. Iya, anjir. Aku nggak tahu ada special program jam segitu. Nggak nyari tahu juga sih.
That was obviously a joke. Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business to attend to in the overworld, correct?
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Marmonia for long.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the Fatui Harbinger.
Fatui Harbinger. Rawr. Betul. Kok aku nggak bisa nyimpan ini ya?
I must say, we've spent long enough playing house.
Tare. Biar apa sih namanya? Biar chatnya bisa, live chatnya bisa ini gimana sih? Oh, udah deh nggak? Rekam live chat ya? Ya aku kira nggak ada loh. Ya.
Miss Farina, as the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed. Or should I say, that's what I originally thought. But looking at your expression, was I wrong? And you haven't a clue?
Setiap kali bayar PS kedua sisa 10 hari bakal ada SIM. Oh iya kah? Sumpah aku baru tahu sih. Thank you.
What are you trying to say?
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now as just a Fontanian. You know the prophecy by heart, and also that every part of it is being proven true. Yet, here you are relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all nothing more than a few stray bugs in your garden. Do you really think that's acceptable? The prophecy's hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster or save their own.
Even the orphans of the House of the Hearth have devoted everything to saving their homeland.
Cuk, ditekan terus yuk.
But you? It beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been. From the very beginning, you, the god Focalor, you have utterly failed to take action.
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence. Retract your accusation and stop doubting the wisdom of the gods with such absurd conjectures.
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of Fontaine may be harboring the exact same thoughts right now. Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save them? Save us? How are the people you've sworn to protect supposed to survive in a land that will soon disappear beneath the waves?
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even if you look down upon me, you have no right to judge me. Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future right now, as long as I continue on as I am, I will be able to hold my head up high.
Then I ask you, Miss Farina, just what have you been working on? Where can we see it, and what is it doing to help?
Ayo lo.
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself. They will only reveal themselves at the fated time. It is just that beings like yourselves are unable to perceive them as of yet.
Jawaban kayak gitu mah nggak bakal ini, Cok.
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying mortal eyes. Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not confidential? Such
An emergency response plan?
Shh.
Oh, that look in your eyes. Have you not even prepared one of those?
The emergency response plan is also strictly confidential.
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Farina, what is the purpose of your Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal? And what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has accumulated over the years?
The Oratrice? It's just like it appears to be.
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using it to prepare for something. But unfortunately, it would seem that someone is not you, Miss Farina. I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the Oratrice in the Opera House. You see, even just getting close to the core contaminated him with an extremely large amount of indemnitium. But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be working on, oh great Hydro Archon? Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Nouvillette is not at the tea party with us today. Miss Farina, I suppose you must have ordered him away to take care—
Yeah, yes, that's exactly right. Please keep it a secret for me.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Farina, you seem quite insecure without the Udex by your side. Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left, so please, help yourselves, everyone. Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why don't you take an extra slice of cake? Those who work hard deserve gratitude and praise. You too, Paimon.
Thank you. Paimon will take you up on that offer.
Dia makan.
Oh, Paimon's super full. That cake was great.
If it's on my tea table, it must be of the highest quality. Yes, and we must thank the knave for bringing these over as well.
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Farina's table. And I was merely catering to Miss Farina's tastes, seeking a chance to chat over tea. It is getting late. Why don't we call it a day? There are still a few matters that I need to take care of, so...
Very well. We'll end it here.
Mind seeing me off, traveler? We could use the opportunity to discuss child before I must be on my way.
Paimon's coming too!
The tea party turned out to be even more difficult than I'd imagined. Why are you looking at me like that? Is something the matter? If there's nothing urgent, then I shall be retiring for now.
Oh, orators. Oh, mejanya di situ. Lu ngeliat apaan sih? Ah, gue dapat lah.
Scatter!
Oh, sini. Kok sepi sih? Sepi anjir.
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, child was just an excuse. I have no interest in your dealings with him.
That's what Paimon thought.
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father, I would like to express my gratitude. That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings, and informal topics in informal settings. I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you. Linny, Lynette, and Fremine are still there, and I trust...
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back against anyone who tried to stop them. Especially Linny.
You mean Wriothesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate that Linny's so eager to prove himself that he can't learn to rely on others, including me. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip, but what's your impression of Farina? You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most easily. Allow me.
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported to the fortress of Meripede.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused? Forget it. He did give us an opportunity. I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any preparations?
No need. I will take care of it myself. I need to meet with Farina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's fascinating about her is that she often seems more like a celebrity than a working Archon.
Oh? Come over here, you little critter, you! You dare to run from me? Stop right this instant!
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Farina to be handed to me on a silver platter. This is so easy, it's actually making me a bit suspicious. Anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But no one will blame someone for taking the bait. After all, from the moment it was attached to the hook, the bait is meant to be sacrificed. It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydronosis is not currently held by the Archon. In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that she's under some kind of curse.
Who are you? And what are you trying to do? Please don't kill me.
The fear in her pupils is genuine, so perhaps she's not bait after all. I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Farina dares not mention this incident to anyone. Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Farina quietly cried alone. There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. Perhaps Iudex Neuvillette is actually the genuine article. I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he is probably in possession of it. Alternatively, it might have been hidden in a place that's hard for ordinary people to access.
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please speak.
News from the Fortress of Meripede. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that, the contacts and guards we bribed at the fortress have all gone quiet as well.
Probably the handiwork of that Wriothesley.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a Harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an excuse to exert diplomatic pressure on the Fontaine authorities. Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Hydro Archon and Iudex Neuvillette. Oh, and I have an additional mission for you three.
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. With this as my excuse, I can ask for an official audience and continue my investigation of Farina and Iudex Neuvillette. The initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the Fortress of Meripede will be a front. Lenny and his group will be responsible for the actual intelligence gathering.
Pinter cowok.
You should know the rest. Lenny's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have hidden anything from you.
You attacked the Hydro Archon?
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even Farina herself is still pretending that nothing of that sort ever happened.
Alright then.
I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I once surmised that Iudex Neuvillette must be the Hydro Archon, but now, that doesn't seem right to me either. I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Whether Iudex Neuvillette or Farina, neither fits the bill. Of course, that is all just how I feel. Gut feelings often do not require justification. It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, I've come to realize I am at a complete loss regarding the identity of the god of the land of my birth. Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many secrets have yet to rise to the surface. Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do anything else. Should the need arise, I would be happy to cooperate with you. You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve. And as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday. He certainly returned quickly. You must want to catch up with each other, so I'll leave you to him.
Neverlet, is it over?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that sooner or later the prophesized events will occur. Thank you for protecting Farina. To put it simply, I used my power to force back the primordial sea and reseal the sluice gate. So as expected, the knave has turned up the pressure on Farina. She's trying to feel her out, though I'm still unsure as to her motives. Permission granted.
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real Hydro Archon, right? But that's just a speculation on our part, though. You can't tell us? Then that's okay. We can talk about something else. We won't try to force you. You guys in Fontaine are super strange.
If by the phrase, you guys, you are referring to Farina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her positions on a multitude of topics. I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history. It has seen much grief and suffering. And now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn this turn of events.
Huh? Why is it raining all of a sudden?
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Oh? And what are you thinking? The dragon of... what? Huh?
Please do not be so surprised. Farina?
Neverlet! Neverlet, are you listening?
My apologies.
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the dragon sovereign of water, right? Well, if you don't want to confirm or deny...
You guessed correctly. I sincerely hope you'll be able to keep this a secret for me.
Right, of course. We'll definitely help you keep it a secret. There's still something Paimon wants to ask you, though.
Please, go ahead.
Well, if you are the dragon sovereign of water, and you were able to force back the primordial sea from the fortress, then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater, couldn't you just use your power to solve the crisis?
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included, possess our full dragonhood. They say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today, that stolen power is the basis of the Archon's authorities.
There are 7 elemental archons and 7 matching dragon sovereigns.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know far less of that part of our ancient history. In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns their elemental authority to me. Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way to deal with the prophecy.
Oh, so even you can't solve it.
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you have any more questions regarding ancient history, you are welcome to discuss them with me at a later time.
Please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon wants to go too. Traveler, why don't we pay another visit to the Fortress of Meripede? Paimon is a little worried. We'll see you another time.
Take care.
Hujan aja. Tiba-tiba aja.
Violet grass is a plant that enjoys a moist environment.
Masa nggak dapat primo sih? Nggak dapat primo, kocak. Oke.
You guys are back?
Crystal! Macaroon!
You guys didn't get caught and thrown back down here, right?
Huh? No, not at all.
And here I thought you'd managed to escape from jail during all the commotion. I'd held you up as legendary jailbreakers, but now you're telling me you just...
We're sorry, but we just had some business to take care of.
All right. There's no need to get caught up in the details. We're just relieved to see you. He was super worried about you, you know.
Hey, it wasn't just me. Weren't you super worried as well?
Something like that, yeah. I was also transferred to work in the kitchen a few days ago. I can still hear Quisto mumbling to the carrots. Are those two all right? Do you think they made it out alive? Whenever he'd say that, I'd tell him I'm sure they're fine. Wherever they are, they're kicking back with drinks in hand, enjoying the lovely scenery.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with worrying about your prison pals, is there? I mean, considering how they always love listening to all my gossip.
These two, they sure are a lot warmer and friendlier than when Paimon first met them.
Oh, well, if you say so. I'll be watching you to make sure you finish every last bite.
Sichuan.
Seedwing! Traveler, Paimon, you're back! Are you still doing all right? Did either of you get hurt?
We're fine, but what about you guys? It was such a huge mess. How bad was it?
A few people sustained superficial injuries, but that's about the extent of the damage. Monsieur Nervulet paid us a visit. It was all thanks to him that we managed to suppress the crisis for the time being.
Itu apaan, ada jam anjir? Hati ngebelah sama hati itu.
Of course, we must also thank you for the help you provided.
How did Nervulet know that he was needed here?
Well, Monsieur Nervulet has strong resonance with the hydro element. When the water level rises, he can feel the waves produced. I ran into the bombshell bros while bandaging the injuries of the wounded. They were mumbling the whole time about how you just ran down without a word. I'm so relieved to see that you're both alright. If you're not too pressed for time, please stay with us a few more days. Just let me know if you get a craving for any particular dish, so I can have Mr. Walsey get your meals prepared. Oh, and please feel free to visit the infirmary for a break at any time. I'd like to take the opportunity to spend some more time observing your facial muscles as well. Your happy smiles are quite contagious, you know. They're so memorable, and I've missed them immensely while you were gone.
Grab yourself a welfare meal.
Bisa digedein lagi apa? Lucu, Cok. Ya. Ngapain? Ke bawah? Oh, lebih tinggi. Tapi hah? Oh, ke bawah sini, ke bawah sini.
Courier, Miss Sishween told me you still haven't eaten.
Yeah, I was working on something, so I forgot.
That's no excuse for... Huh? It's you two.
Junior, Lurvine, we're back!
Hello there. It's been quite the mess here recently. How have you been?
And you? Are you still taking the secret passageway from the infirmary to work on the ship?
Yep. That is still top secret, though, so don't say a word to anyone.
It can be a bit annoying when there are lots of people in the infirmary, but I still prefer taking that route over the one from the Duke's office.
I mean, the infirmary does make it easier for you to slack off.
Oh yeah? Then why are you also here so much?
You two really are just using your jobs as a cover for your relationship, aren't you?
Not at all!
Ah, sakit banget. Woi. Sabar, sabar, sabar. Ah, capek banget gara-gara sumpah.
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanged.
Cerita di film seru juga ternyata.
Now guess, what suit will this next card be?
A bare-teeth cat?
Well, well, look who it is.
Traveler, Paimon.
Hello, everyone.
Looks like you're recovering nicely from it, eh?
Mm-hmm. Thanks to everyone's support. Oh, right. I managed to work up the courage to thank Miss Clarant in person.
Whoa, how did she react?
She told me that it was nothing. It was as if saving a life wasn't a big deal to her at all. She also told me not to worry about it.
She didn't want to stress you out, that's all. She's right, and it's best not to dwell on it.
Yeah.
Okay, but check this out. We went back to the opera house and we met the knave.
You met Father? Did she say anything to you?
She said a few things that were, a bit hard to understand. And also that she's looking forward to working with us in the future.
Her attitude towards you is even better than what we'd imagined. That's fantastic. You should believe her. She has her own way of doing things, and she'll do everything in her power to help those she considers close, which now might also include you.
Mm-hmm. Father is very capable, and also trustworthy.
Oh, Paimon just remembered that she thought Linny was a bit too proud as well. She said that you should learn how to rely on others sometimes.
Got it.
That does sound like something that Father would say.
Hey!
Are you going to stay here for the next few days?
Looks like it, yeah.
Excellent. I will host a tea party.
For real? Then Paimon wants another serving of cake.
Another implies that you were already served some delicious cake while you were up there. How lovely. Well, next time, you're going to have tea and snacks with us. We should start preparing that tea party.
Oh, that's a great idea. I'm all for it.
I'll help you set it up.
Cadangan Warsley. Mana? Oh, kantornya. Loh, tiba-tiba ada di sini deh.
Do my eyes deceive me, or did I just see two inmates come back after making it to the surface? Some strange winds blowing of late.
We wanted to see how the fortress is doing. Is everything still all right?
We're fine, for the most part. Neuvillette came down and took care of the worst of it.
If that's the case, why don't you just ask him to stay here?
Oh, yeah, what a brilliant plan. Let's go convince the Eudex himself to exchange the Courts of Fontaine for a puddle of water in the middle of nowhere. He came here in a hurry and left without even stopping for a cup of tea. He did remember to take Miss Sigewinne's gift with him, though.
He sure sounds super busy.
Miss Cloran has left as well. She also took her gift from Miss Sijuin.
Were the gifts milkshakes?
Nervalette got the milkshake. Cloran received lipstick instead.
Those aren't even remotely alike.
Well, it's Nervalette's own fault for making Sijuin worried about his health by working so much. But besides that, our head nurse is still pretty fond of picking out beauty products for the ladies. Oh, and I have some gifts here for you as well.
Are these from Sijuin too?
Nope, they're from yours truly. You've already wrapped up your work at the fortress, so you can return to the surface at any time. You haven't yet served your full prison term, however, so you may continue to use your cell until your term is up.
For real? Then we could stay here for a really long time?
You may access the cafeteria for free. Hooray! Just remember to come complete your paperwork once it's time for your release.
Tadi apa?
We're back in our cell again. We're no longer prisoners, though, so it really doesn't feel the same. Sure feels that way. But the truth is, we never did anything bad to begin with, so, Huh? How did you know? Hey, that's not true! Alright. Okay, Paimon just wanted to say that we really are an amazing duo after all. It's like, we've now gone to so many places together and become friends with so many people. We've never stopped traveling or stopped meeting new friends. There are so many bad things in the world, and we're just two people, but we've still been solving problems no matter where we go. Isn't it you're counting Paimon today? Aren't you the only adventurer here? Then let's ask Catherine to give Paimon an adventurer handbook as well. Paimon will also be an adventurer from today forward. Just our thoughts making Paimon giddy. Paimon's gonna crash, so you sleep soon too. The last time we fell asleep here, we woke up to a whole mess outside our cell. The primordial seawater nearly rose up. That was so scary. We should be safe now, right? Alright then, good night to you, traveler.
Tidur, Cok. Gede banget anjir. Sumpah gede banget itu. Penyebaran satu dosa. Apa maksud? Sabar. Empat 8 berarti. selesai cepat bencana alam. Alah, kurang 11 lagi, Cok. Pistol. Kenapa? Ah, bisa ya? Oh, air bah angkara murka. Sabar. Masih bisa ngebuka. Nggak bisa deh. Oh, ambil. Oh ya udah. Tunggu sampai besok jam 8 sampai 12.
Now for a little rest after breakfast. This is the life. Wait a sec. Isn't something important supposed to happen today? Oh, today's our big day! We're supposed to leave the Fortress of Mirapede! Come on, we've got to go complete the release procedures now!
Penyamaran sang pendosa, anjay. Alah, di atas. Masih nggak paham gua. Kalau gue di sini apakah bakal kegencet? Jadi Raiden geprek.
Crumble.
Nggak mau turun? Oh, udah deh. Si Juven masih dari situ kah? Oh, nggak ada deh, udah. Kita mau makan dulu. Lah, kok habis?
Please, sign here. This document will be effective immediately upon signing, and you two may exit the Fortress of Mirapede via the regular channels.
It's been so long since we've been to the surface. Let's hurry up and...
What's happening? I'm fine, thanks. But I wonder what that tremor was just now.
Let's go ask the Duke.
Ah, good to see you two. Is there something you wish to see me about?
Yeah, what was with that earthquake just now?
Ah, that. The tremor didn't originate from the seafloor. In fact, it seems it came from the surface. Over the years of serving as the warden here, I have developed a sense for distinguishing between what occurs on the surface and what occurs underwater. Besides, the seal that Monsieur Neuvillette set in place won't fail so easily.
So the fortress is okay?
If you recall our last incident, if there really were a problem, there would be crowds of inmates in a panic right now.
Huh, you've got a point. Okay, seems we need to get back up to the surface and ask about what happened. By the way, do you know what day it is today?
I believe today is this month's pipe cleaning day.
Wait, seriously?
Ah, yes. Have you completed your release papers?
Yep.
It's you two. Are you leaving now?
That's right! Today is our last day in prison! But now that Paimon says that, it doesn't feel like we were confined here. It's actually been pretty nice. Oh yeah, Paimon feels fond of this place now.
Then be sure to come back and visit. I'll miss you.
Miss you too.
If you've signed the release papers, then you're free to go. The guards will escort you out.
You're not going to see us off?
I knew you'd ask. All right, sure. Let's go.
Well, you actually agreed. No worries, you must be busy. Paimon was just joking.
Ah, so you do have a polite side, I see.
After being down here for so long, I imagine you must feel like you're lacking companionship. Shall I come along too?
Yeah, don't worry, we'll come back to see you. Paimon really likes the cafeteria here. The chefs sure do know how to make good grub.
I hope you won't be here as convicts the next time I see you.
We'll do our best to stay out of trouble. Well, it seems our work in the Fortress of Mirapede is finished. That's the end of another chapter in our journey. And since Neuvillette was the one who asked us to come here, we should probably go report to him now. Next up, the Palais Mermonia.
You're going to see Monsieur Neuvillette? Please pass on our kind regards.
I'm sure just your regards will do, no?
I believe it would be the polite thing to do.
You're right. I've heard the Palais has been terribly busy these days. Tell him that I hope he hasn't been overwhelmed by the recent string of troubles. If you're concerned about things at the Palais, why don't you take some time to go up and check things out? I believe you should still have some vacation time to spend.
Thank you for being so understanding. It means a lot. It's been some time since I've gone to the surface. I must say that I've started to miss it a little.
Masih ada deh. What? Sebentar, HP gua rusak. Tuh. HP ku rusak. Ih. Mantap. HP ku rusak anjir. Layarku ngangkat.
Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever.
Ah. Aku beli mouse-nya ntar aja deh. Aku mau beli keyboard dulu biar nggak rusak. Pergi. Oh, ini mah tinggal teleport aja. teng 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 teng. Ada yang nonton. Kira nggak ada yang nonton. Halo, 2 orang. Halo, 2 orang yang nonton. Kalau episode ini tempat megah banget, Cok. Ada apa sih?
The Palais Mermonia sure is buzzing with activity today.
Halt! Huh? Oh, it's you two. Apologies. Monsieur Neuvillette did say you'd be welcome at any time.
What's that?
Excuse me. Would you mind helping me take a look at this report? I'll be right there. Sorry, I've got my hands full here. You can see yourselves in.
Sedih. Ada
Everyone's
sayapnya ya?
so busy. Seems a lot has been happening.
Kenapa nih? Aku penasaran.
Hello. You've come at the right time, but you'll have to wait for just a moment. In the meantime, please have a seat. If you'd like to have something to drink, let the Melusine outside know.
That's all right. We just ate.
Very well then.
Let's take a break over there while we wait for him to finish his work.
Jam 1:30.
All right. That should wrap things up for now.
Are you done with your work?
Yes, sorry to keep you waiting. Today should be the day you were released from the Fortress of Meripede, and it appears that you've managed to complete all the release paperwork.
That's right, and we came here to see you right away.
A massive whale.
Do you have any idea what that might be?
Judging from your description, that cannot have occurred in any ordinary waters, but rather something like the primordial sea. A whale of that size and shape cannot usually be found in the waters of Tevat. Therefore, we can only assume that Child is presently immersed in primordial seawater.
Immersed in primordial seawater?
Masuk akal sih.
What the hell? Is
Kan
that okay?
bener. Dia kan bukan orang fakta, jadi nggak bakal larut kayak yang udah-udah.
Most people wouldn't be capable of entering in the first place. I'm not completely sure how he could have gotten there myself. Yes, what is it?
Ah, right! Paimon felt it too! We asked the Duke and he said it wasn't from underwater, so we figured you might know something about it.
It turns out that I have just received a report about this particular matter. In fact, that's exactly what I was busy with a moment ago. The source of the tremor was here on the surface near Poisson. After the shaking stopped, the water levels in the Poisson area rose at an alarming rate.
The water levels rose? Oh no! What about all the people there?
Fortunately, the water levels only rose for a short period of time and have already returned to normal now. However, I still have a bad feeling about the whole phenomenon. If the change in water levels is connected with the leaking primordial seawater, then the situation in Poisson may be much worse than it appears.
Navia should be in Poisson, right? We need to go check on her!
I would also like to go there as soon as possible, but I'm afraid I can't leave just yet. We must immediately formulate disaster prevention plans for the surrounding coastal areas to avoid potential catastrophes. I'll have to ask you two to go to Poisson first. I'll meet you there to check on the situation once I finish things here.
Okay.
There's no time to lose! Let's get going!
Please be careful. The two of you have my thanks. If you need any help, just let me know.
Oh no! What happened here? sure she's still... hi, Mom.
Control el cuero.
We haven't seen a single soul all the way here. Oh, this is getting scary.
What will I ever do now?
Look, there's someone on the roof over there.
Just stay put. We're coming up. Watch your balance.
All right, just hurry.
I'm not young anymore. My Desiree!
Oh, he looks pretty sad.
My leg! My leg! How could this have happened? It hurts!
Just hang in there. Help is on the way. You can hold my hand if it makes you feel better.
Kenapa, Cok? Oke. Oh, ada Rafia, cuy.
Oh, it's Navia. She's over there. Hey, Navia, are you okay?
Oh shit, nangis dia.
You're here.
We heard there was a situation in Poisson, so we came as quickly as we could.
Yes. As you can see, the water level suddenly rose. It caused quite the disturbance, in fact.
Demoiselle! There was a wounded resident next to a building southeast of here. We've already transported him to safety, but we've run out of medical supplies.
He's wounded? How badly?
He fell, so it's probably a broken leg. He's pretty shaken up. When the water level rose, he desperately climbed up to the roof. Once the water receded and he saw the ground, he became terrified and eventually...
Kakinya patah.
He jumped down then. Find the leader of Squad 1 and tell him to take the wounded resident to see a doctor. He should know where to go.
Understood. I'll take over his search and rescue mission in the meantime.
All right. You'll be in charge. I'm sorry. Where were we?
The situation in Poisson?
Right. Allow me to explain. A little earlier, we suddenly heard a loud noise. At first, everyone thought that something might have exploded on an aquabus. But before we knew it, water started pouring out from everywhere. The rushing water seemed a little odd, almost like the unique color of primordial seawater. Some people didn't realize the danger and thought it was just ordinary water, leaking from somewhere. Everyone on the street who happened to be close to the water didn't have a chance to escape. As the water levels rose, they suddenly disappeared. They were all dissolved. Those who realized what was happening started to flee in a panic, desperately trying to get to higher ground. Many were injured in the stampede, and some people fell from significant heights. The Spina di Rosula initiated rescue operations as quickly as possible, but there have been a lot of casualties. Fortunately, the water began to recede after some time, and the chaos came to an end. The water that flooded the area contained primordial seawater, so the lower levels of Poisson are still hazardous. To ensure everyone's safety, I've asked the people there to leave as soon as possible. No one knows if this could happen again. All we can do for now is try our best to help evacuate the residents. We still haven't completed the head count, but we'll have some numbers soon.
How awful. And all of this just came out of nowhere.
It was quite frightening indeed. I only wish that everything that just happened
was a bad dream.
Is there any way we can help, Navia?
Thank you for being so willing to help in a moment of crisis like this. You don't know how much it means to me. I really can't express how grateful I am.
Don't say that, Navia. That's what friends are for.
Melo Silver larut juga kah? Shh, salah nanya, Cok. Salah nanya, Cok.
Demoiselle, we've got a situation here.
I'll be right there. Sorry, I need to go for now.
And out she goes. Seems it might be a while before she can take a break.
Okay, the wounded are being tended to, and we finished a preliminary head count. More support has just arrived, so I suppose I finally have a moment to focus on my own matters. Of course, we should remain ready for anything, and continue doing our best to rescue others. I'll be sure to have everyone at the Spina di Rosula ready to render assistance. Traveler, Paimon, would you two accompany me to my father's grave for a moment?
Oh.
Huh? Right now?
Thank you.
Mana? Oh, ke atas ya? Di sini gini. Oh, kasihan anjir. Ngelek. FPS turun. Sabar.
Not a lot of people here, huh?
Well, given the time of day and the whole situation in Poisson, Paimon doesn't think there'd be a ton of people here visiting graves.
Right. That's how things are now. The living are so exhausted that they've no strength to spare any words for the dead.
Navia?
Bukan.
Navia, what's wrong?
Sorry. I just... Malus and Silver, they won't ever come back here again. What should I do, Papa?
Huh? What happened to them?
Everyone agreed on the rescue plan, but still, I was the one who initiated it. They were helping evacuate the residents, but they couldn't leave in time. And they were caught in the seawater.
What should we do?
I've known them for so long. And I know they weren't afraid. But I could at least hold a funeral for my father. And I know where he rests. But as for Malus and Silver, they're just gone. I just can't.
Everything looks so clean after it rains. Even the gravestones. I didn't expect that you'd enjoy a glass of red wine in front of Master Callus's grave.
I can understand. Besides, the scenery here isn't half bad.
See, it's not just me. I always want to bring something when I visit Papa. Perhaps we might even have a picnic. He wouldn't be angry, would he?
How could Master ever be upset with you, demoiselle? Yet the cemetery is the home of those who have passed, is it not? Everyone ends up here sooner or later, no matter who you are.
Buying yourself a plot in advance, are you?
No need yet. But when I do, I hope you'll let me be buried beside Master Callus, demoiselle.
Hey, stop joking around.
I'm quite serious. That way, it will save us both the trip to see each other whenever you visit your father's grave.
That makes sense. In that case, could I be buried on his other side?
After all, besides you, demoiselle, the two of us could certainly be considered Master's closest companions, no?
Mas Badar mewek ya gimana cok sedih banget anjir.
Personally, I believe we fill those shoes just fine.
Dari semua cerita yang mana? Dari semua cerita Genshin dari awal Mondo sampai Sembara tuh kayak agak kurang sih. Kena banget anjir.
Why are you bringing this up all of a sudden? Seriously. All right. I'll remember your requests.
Lu jangan begitu sih. Gue jarang nangis, Cok.
But I'd really prefer not to talk about this stuff. And what do you mean by saving me a trip? I'd make the journey even if I had to visit you two somewhere else. I'd promised to let them rest in peace here. But here I am breaking that promise. I'm sorry for letting you see me in a mess like this. I don't usually cry, really.
Paimon doesn't know how to help you feel better. But, well, she understands how you feel.
Masa matinya larut sih anjir, enggak banget, Cok.
I'd always thought I could make my wishes come true. But now that I think about it, that never solely relied on me. Many things can only be accomplished with someone else's help. Malus and Silver have helped me so much. But by contrast, I could do nothing for them.
Cok, udahlah, Cok, sedih-sedihnya, Cok. Aku mau main game, bukan mau bersedih, Cok.
I'm so sorry.
You can spend as much time as you need here, Navia. We'll stay with you.
Thank you. Right now, you don't know how much that means. By the way, you can have a look at this.
Obena, Khan, Burnett, Giverny, Francine, Karina, Daisy Ray, Joinville, Julianne, Esson, as well as Malus and Silver.
Ini bukan es, Cok. Aku nangis, Cok.
So, everyone else is safe. But still...
It's okay. I know what you're thinking. And you're right. We lost Malus and Silver. But we were able to save more than we anticipated.
Udah lah, Cok. Nggak ada dua kocak lagi, Cok. Dua kocaknya udah larut, Cok. Udah meninggal.
The overall outcome indicates that the cost was worth it.
Right! Don't think that way, Navia. One person might be saved at the expense of another, sure, but that isn't something we should ever consider a trade. Malus and Silver were not the price for saving anyone. They're heroes.
Yeah.
You're right.
Thanks,
Thank you, Paimon. What you said just now was pretty amazing, actually.
Good morning,
I'll
Glenn!
remember your words.
You tell us something your mum doesn't know. Yeah.
Timingnya jelek banget, Cok. Timingnya jelek banget, anjir. Cuma, tar dulu, Jangan gitu dulu, Aku mau menikmati ceritanya dulu, Cok. Walaupun aku bilang jangan sedih-sedih.
Oh,
Ya, but thank you ya. Thank you udah donate.
Seems you've become more eloquent in the time since we last met.
the knave? What are you doing here?
Is everything going well on your side?
Yes, my people are carrying out the mission according to your request. All the residents of Poisson have been evacuated, and we're preparing to relocate them to higher ground.
Nggak akan ketawa. Ya gimana, gue lagi sedih tiba-tiba dikirimin video kayak gitu. Ya bentar coy, ayo kita menikmati nih. Ceritanya pengen habis cuy.
As for these supplies, we have everything taken care of. There is no need to worry.
Bentar lagi gue jadi player endgame ini. Ceritanya pengen habis.
Thank you very much.
Wait, do you two know each other?
We just met recently. Right, Miss Navia?
Usually, I would call this a coincidental encounter, but that doesn't quite fit this time. Besides, it never even crossed my mind that a Fatui Harbinger would come looking for me. Thanks to the Knave, Spina di Rosula received generous support from the Fatui, which allowed us to complete the rescue and evacuation work so quickly.
Mutual aid is essential to fostering positive developments. We were already in the area, in any case, so it was nothing. That said, I must say that you're a lot sharper than you let on. I'm sure you understand what I mean.
Mau ini kah? Timbal balik kah?
I apologize for all the ways in which I tested you previously. We've never worked with a Fatui before, and it's extremely important for us to know who we're working with. My subordinates have reported that Fatui soldiers have been observing water levels and taking head counts in various locations. I hear that they've also prepared a large amount of emergency supplies. I'm quite surprised.
Fatui kok lebih berguna daripada si Arkon Hydro? Iya. Si Furina, Cok. Lebih berguna daripada Furina.
This is nothing to brag about, nor do I intend to. It is simply the way of powerful organizations to act forcefully, whether they are doing good or ill. You've witnessed that firsthand, in any case. As I've told this traveler before, I know of the prophecy, and I intend to prevent the impending disaster.
Tapi keren loh ini, kalau misalnya aku boleh ngomong ya. Cerita Genshin itu dari awalnya saudara kepisah sampai kompleks banget kayak gini, keren sih.
Lending your organization a hand was a natural first step in accomplishing that. As such, do not be troubled by this token of our sincerity. Perhaps one day, you'll also be able to help me in the same way.
Without your help, there would have been many more casualties. I won't forget your kindness.
Okay.
Furthermore, I sincerely regret what happened to Malus and Silver. I only wish that my people could have arrived a little earlier to prevent this from happening.
Don't say that. You and your subordinates did everything you could. As Paimon said, Malus and Silver didn't choose to sacrifice themselves for any specific person. And they weren't the price paid for others' salvation. They chose to become heroes themselves. I've never liked hearing people put it that way. It's like trying to relieve pain by saying some noble-sounding words. But right now, there's nothing more suitable.
You're right. I'm sorry for your loss, Miss Navia. Water is life to Fontaine's people, and it also spells disaster. It's no wonder that people always say that prophecies represent fate. Fortunately, I've never been one for such opinions.
So, you're one who will try to change fate, then?
Of course. That is why I'm going to Hotel Bouffe de Thé. I still have some things to take care of, and the children need my attention.
Bener, Cok. Ada takdir yang bisa diubah. Ada takdir kodo, ada takdir pedar. Iya benar. Percaya dengan kodo dan
By
pedar.
the way,
Bener nih.
Traveler, Paimon, one more thing.
Alright, then we'll just... Huh? This isn't right. Paimon thought you would ask us to walk with you for a moment so you could tell us something in private.
That is a clever and useful conversation technique, which I do like to use when necessary. But there's no need today. It would not hurt to have Miss Navia listening in. Traveler, I'm sure you remember that I said we could work together when we had the chance.
Iya benar.
You and I both know that there may be issues with the primordial sea. Previously, it was the fortress of Meripede's sluice gate, and this time it was the water levels in Poisson. These are both signals.
Okay.
Indeed. Allow me to share the latest intel I've received from the House of the Hearth's intelligence network with you.
Sumpah ini informasinya gacor banget, Cok.
During some recent investigations, a child claimed to have discovered some ruins near Poisson. The ruins date back to ancient times and seem to be worth investigating in many ways. Judging by the dating of the ruins, they may be related to the prophecy and the coming crisis. The situation is becoming more urgent, so any pertinent information will prove extremely precious. My people initially came to prepare for ruin exploration. Unexpectedly, this disaster struck, and at present, we're all busy prioritizing the rescue effort.
So that's why the Fatui were already in Poisson.
I wanted to take the children along, but unfortunately, Linny, Lynette, and Fremine have all been dispatched to higher ground to assist affected residents. Linny told me that outside of the house, the person they trust most is you.
Okay.
Which is why I want to give you this task.
Yakin aman.
The House of the Hearth's members see each other as family, but Linny, Lynette, and Fremine said that they also see you as such, even though you are not from the house. I'm sure you already understand how earnest they consider their friendship with you to be.
Hooray, aku dianggap keluarga.
Oh, that somehow makes Paimon feel kinda happy.
The intel I just shared about the ruins could fetch a high price. But since the children consider you family, it's only natural that I freely share it with you.
Got it! So all we gotta do is go to some ruins, right? We can handle that.
Gak segampang itu kayaknya.
Excuse me, but may I tag along?
You wish to join, Miss Navia?
But are you sure you're up to exploring some ruins? You need to rest.
Well, I'm sad, yes, but I can't just go back and plop myself into a chair by the roadside and do nothing. There's no point in being depressed while we still have a disaster on our hands. As my father's successor, I must live up to the hopes he had in me. Besides, I'm also doing this for myself. I need something, a distraction, to keep my mind off Malus and Silver.
Okay.
Since you put it that way, I have no objections. What do you say, traveler?
Setuju lah.
All right. The ruins are to the south of Poisson. Here's the map.
Okay, the three of us will handle it. Come on, let's pack up and get going.
Ide, mantap. Pertemuan adalah perpisahan. Gimana? Oh, sini kah? Ih, jauh banget dari teleport. Gimana nih? Ini kali ya? Salah, Cok. Dari sini aja deh. Setbacknya sampai merah. Lari. Itu balon aja. Aku kalau ngeliatnya tuh jadi inget ini Toy Story aja. Yang apa namanya yang di mobil ada atasnya roket itu. Iya. Nggak usah. Iya. Nabrak. Oh enggak. Ini nggak bisa pakai nos apa ya? Oh, ada. Oh, reruntuhannya di sini kah? Masuk dari sini. Ah.
So, are these the ruins the knave was talking about? Whoa, talk about old.
Talk about old.
They seem to be pretty ancient, all right.
Let's go in and have a look.
Just be careful.
Okay. Teleport movement terbuka. Tempat tersembunyi. Wow. Oke. Mulai. Akhirnya kita bisa showcase, teman-teman. Akhirnya kita bisa showcase, Cok. Sabar. Gak ada tempat masuk lagi. Adakah chest? Sabar ya, Cok. Aku mau ini. Nge-chest anjir. Nyari chest. Ya, itu sih kan. Aku penasaran. Gak ada apa-apa. Tapi tempatnya bagus sih. Bentar. Nggak bisa. Nggak bisa foto. Oh shit. Reconnect. Males ah. Nggak mau. Jaringannya bapuk banget, cowok. Jaringannya bapuk banget. Tidak. Oke, ada lagi. Jaringannya bapuk banget. Tuh nggak keluar sih. Chest. Salah. Aduh mau. Halo. Hey.
Illusion shut.
This is order.
Rain outlines your fate. Let me weave you a verse. Know my sword.
Everyone hold hands.
Inazuma shines eternal. Shine down.
What did you say? Nggak ada apa-apa sih. Oh, ke bawah kah? Oke.
Watch it. The floor here isn't safe.
Cok. Sumpah. Bentar. Sumpah aku kaget, Cok, seriusan. Nggak bohong. Horor banget. Asli.
There is no escape.
Stabilize.
Time to rain cutter. Rain outlines your fate.
Oh, ada chest. Sumpah, aku nggak bohong. Itu kaget banget aku, Cok. Tiba-tiba jeder. Suara gede banget di kuping. Sabar. Ada chest kah? Nggak ada chest, cuy. Terus aku cara ke atas. Oh, oke. Baru mau bilang cara ke atasnya gimana. Iya. Anjay. Developer berarti udah mikir kayak gitu kali ya. Keren.
This place has also been contaminated by primordial seawater.
Yeah. And a lot of it, too. A Fontanian would most likely dissolve the moment they fell in.
Right. You can't go down if there's primordial seawater. It's too dangerous, and it won't be any help for you to just stay here. Don't get my wrong. We're not saying you're useless. It's just that...
No,
Okay.
You're right. I can't do anything in this situation. I'll leave this to you.
Ke atas. Mungkin tidak ada jalan untuk kembali ke atas dari sini. Iya, udah ketutup.
That complicates things. Maybe the only way left is forward.
In that case, do you want to wait for us here?
The water levels here are unstable, and there's a chance the water will rise. I'll go together with you. Perhaps we'll find the exit just up ahead.
Woi, ini orang mau semangat malah dijatuhin semangatnya.
All right. Come with now then, but please be careful. Oh no, it's a dead end.
Kalau gue jatuh kenapa?
Let's
Oh,
try climbing over from the side.
kan gue bukan arah fonten, Cok. Kok bisa ini sih? Hi. Ah, oke. Udah kayak God of War, Cok. Gue main God of War kali ya. Orang gila mana yang taruh sayur-sayuran di sini, Cok? Terus, oh kesini. Keren. Kok lagunya berhenti? Lagunya berhenti anjir. Aku buka aja, malah buka wish ya. Bukan, bentar. Ini gak bisa dipoto kah? Anjir, aku mau foto, Cok. Alah. Hah? Kena air gue di situ. Masa sih? Oh iya. Gue kira kenapa? Berarti ke kanan. Chest, I need chest. Pintu kehidupan teraktif. Gue tahu ini tempat. Ya malah jatuh, kocak. Gue tahu itu tempat, Cok. Kita harus lari. Jadi gede gini.
Wait,
Hey!
There's something wrong with this bridge!
Hey!
Navia!
Anjir. Lah. Cok. Mati dong. Tapi dia ada ceritanya, anjir.
Demoiselle.
Bentar. Gue tahu suaranya.
Huh?
Demoiselle, what are you doing here by yourself? Would you be standing here till dark if I hadn't come to get you?
Lah, katanya mati.
Maybe she just wants some time to herself, Malus.
Lah, katanya mati.
Oh, was I sleeping?
Yes, it would appear so.
Lah, kok?
I must be tired.
That's quite possible. However, you were the one that suggested we go out for a walk.
Oh, right. I nearly forgot. It must have slipped my mind when I dozed off. I haven't had a nap today yet. This is a familiar feeling, yet something's a little strange.
Is something the matter, Demoiselle?
Oh, no. No, I'm fine. I was just trying to recall why we came out for a walk.
Do you remember Mr. Giverny? He'd requested our help before with foreign merchants who had a debt dispute with him, and we'd resolved the matter not long ago.
We were headed to see how things were going with him at the moment.
Cok, Melo sama Selva kan udah mati, Cok.
Ah, right. Yes. I remember now.
Oh, Miss Navia. Ah, Mr. Malus. And Mr. Silver, too. It's good to see all of you.
Wait. Giverny kan ada daftar, Cok. Ada daftar orang mati.
How have you been?
I've been great. Thanks to your help, those bothersome merchants finally realized that I wasn't the one they were looking for. Why, I wasn't even the guarantor for that person. They were knocking at my door day and night. Even my neighbor, Obina, was getting fed up with them.
Sometimes force is required to calm someone down and get them...
That's right. Oh, by the way, Burnett, what was it that you wanted to give to Miss Navia again?
Oh, yes. One moment, I have it, Miss Navia. These are some flower seeds that I prepared. Please take them. They're a very good variety, and they'll become very big and beautiful once they bloom. I don't know what we would have done without your help, so this is a little token of our appreciation. I hope you won't refuse.
Sabar. Aku udah 3 jam ya, hampir 3 jam.
Ah, did you cultivate them yourself? Thank you so much. I'll certainly take them. Maloose, we do still have some empty flower pots at home, right?
Why, we can have as many pots as you'd like, demoiselle.
Perfect. In that case, we'll swap out some of the decorative plants for some of Mrs. Burnett's
Very well.
Wait. Something seems to be off here.
Wah.
Excuse me, madam. If I'm not mistaken, your name is Burnett, correct?
That's right. Is something wrong?
No, it's nothing. This is the first time we've ever met, but your name seemed familiar to me. I must have heard it when I was discussing things with your husband previously. I've heard this name before. Sometime recently, I'm sure of it.
Iya, Cok, aku juga, Cok.
And why are there so few people around here? Where did everyone go?
We must mind the time, demoiselle. We still have important things to attend to today.
Huh? We do? Like what?
Well, now, did you forget?
Miss Navia, here you are. I've been looking for you. Please, come to the Opera House. Your trial is about to begin.
My trial? Wait, why would I need to go to the Opera House?
Yes, she's right, demoiselle. It's just about time now, so we should get going.
Oh? All right then.
No. No. Ini ada telepon. Lihaton.
Look, it's Navia. She's
Lihaton.
here.
And her 2 attendants are with her. Goodness, everyone's finally here.
There sure are a lot of people here to see the trial. And they all seem to be oddly excited about something. I even know some of these people. Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen. Why are so many people here? And why do I have no recollection of this case? And as for the judge... Huh? Where's Monsieur Neuvillette?
Please sit in the defendant's seat. Don't worry, Silver and I shall accompany you.
All right. But are you sure you can stand behind me?
Typically, it wouldn't be allowed, but today is an exception.
Hey, what kind of place do they think this is?
Come on. Do they have any idea what they're doing?
Seriously.
Enough with the whispering! Could someone please tell me where Monsieur Neuvillette is? And why I'm standing trial?
My dear Miss Navia, have you not yet realized what you've done? In that case, allow me to explain. As all here know, you are Master Callus's successor, the head of the Spina di Rosula, someone held in high regard by every soul in Poisson. After you took over the Spina, you treated all of us just like the late Master Callus had. If anyone in need reached out to you for help, you responded. Not only you, but your butler, your subordinates, nearly everyone in the Spina di Rosula fought for the well-being of those in Poisson.
Wait a moment. Aren't you just proving that I'm a good person?
Yes, correct. Absolutely right. And that is why you stand accused. You have helped so many people get through so many difficulties. You are one with us. We are inseparable. We are one big family, all of us who are from Poisson, inextricably linked. And with you being so important, we couldn't possibly do without you. Therefore, this fair and honorable court shall declare you guilty, and you shall stay here. You will be together with us forever.
Apa sih anjir sidang nggak jelas?
What are you saying? Everything you have said is correct. I have indeed done a lot for my hometown, and I would be willing to be with you all, but what is the purpose of having me stand here like this?
Ah, well, if that's what you think, then I have no further comments.
How wonderful, Miss Navia!
Saya udah mati, Cok. Ketawanya gitu sih.
I know all these people. Why are they laughing?
I seem to remember now. Yes, I get it. This trial is...
Wait just a moment. This isn't right!
Apa, Cok?
Malus?
What was that, Mr. Malus? Our conclusion is very clear and unanimous. Let the court judge her now. She's guilty!
Stay here, Navia! You're one of us!
Demoiselle, don't admit guilt. This trial means to keep you here forever.
I wish to exercise my right to defend Our Lady. Mr. Joinville, you only know of Navia's goodness, but nothing of her utterly independent mind.
She was born a free and independent spirit. She has never been tied down by anything. Indeed, even the death of Master Callus couldn't stop her.
Her actions cannot serve as proof that she identifies herself as part of any group. She merely acted as an individual, extending her hand to help others. Please do not mistake her actions as being otherwise.
Really? As an individual, you say? Don't forget, we are all Fontanians here. This is the nation of justice, the nation of Hydro. Even if Miss Navia only voluntarily rendered her assistance, that doesn't change the fact that her beautiful soul must return to everyone. Water accepts all, blends with all. It will surely accept her kindness. Everything is measured here in the nation of Hydro, and in the end, everyone shall meld together. Thus, when a unanimous opinion emerges, that opinion represents justice. Now, I speak for everyone. Our opinion is consistent. Navia should stay. We and Navia are one.
And you would call this justice? Preposterous. You are merely jealous that Demoiselle still has a chance to exist as an individual.
Tuh kan, ini bukan dunia asli, Cok.
Have you forgotten how much you all once longed to become individuals, to become independent?
Do you mean to defy our justice?
If your justice is flawed, then why should we acknowledge it?
As you said, we can also have our own justice. Silver and I shall defend Demoiselle. And that is how we will enforce justice.
My head... It hurts.
Bahkan
Demoiselle.
pas mati pun dibela, anjir.
Silver, it hurts. My head is spinning. All I can see is stars swirling in front of me. I remember now. Everything that seemed odd from the very beginning. Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen, and Mr. Giverny and Mrs. Burnett, who we met earlier. Even Malus and Silver. I don't want to admit it, but they're all dead.
God.
Don't be afraid, and don't admit guilt. We will protect you to the very end.
Absurd! Who are you to say that she cannot be judged? We are the majority, and in the nation of trials, the majority is absolute justice. Don't let them escape! We shall keep Navia here with us!
Mr. Malus and Mr. Silver, must you be so stubborn?
What?
How could the two of you possibly hope to stand against the collective? Do not resist. This judgment is fair and just. Navia belongs to us. After all that happened, she should not be left alone in Poisson.
What are you saying? No more excuses.
Itu apa?
She says we're jealous. Jealous? How could she possibly be an independent individual?
What's with these people? Who's jealous of her?
She belongs to us.
Miss Navia, she...
Silence.
That's...
Kok tiba-tiba ada si ini sini, Violet?
Monsieur Neuvillette.
Such commotion is prohibited in the court. The accusations you just presented are nonsense and cannot constitute a proper trial. The court will adjourn for the rest of the day. In this, I shall hear no objections from any unauthorized party.
Our thanks, Monsieur Neuvillette.
Please leave with me, Miss Navia, while there is still time.
But...
Go on now, demoiselle. This is your only chance to leave this place. What, can't bear to leave us behind or something?
Malus.
My apologies. I couldn't resist making one little joke once I realized that this shall be our last goodbye.
Cuk, dibikin nangis lagi, Cuk.
Malus. Silver.
Quickly, you must come now.
Goodbye, demoiselle.
Anjing, gua nangis lagi. Shit,
Farewell.
Anjing.
No, wait! Just a second!
Hey, Navia?
You're awake. Good.
I must have been dreaming. Malus and Silver were still alive, and they were defending me at some insane trial.
It looks like you're all right.
Did all the sad feelings cause you to have a nightmare? Paimon could give you a hug.
The ruins you were exploring suffered a cave-in. When I arrived, I found you falling toward the water. You were just about to be dissolved within, but I
What is it?
I think I saw two Oceanids protecting you. It was only for a moment, perhaps even a fraction of a second, but they gave me the chance to retrieve you. Were it not for their intervention, I would not have been able to rescue you before your consciousness dissipated.
Wait, did you say Oceanids? You mean like what happened with Vache?
Oh iya, Oceanid, Cuk.
Perhaps those two Oceanids were the people you saw in your dream.
I always told them that they didn't have to protect me. To think that they'd keep doing so even after death.
Please come with me.
Setia banget orangnya, Cuk. Keren, cuy. Keren.
Neuvillette, are you okay?
Oh, I am quite all right. Perhaps there's something we could chat about?
Why do you look so stiff all of a sudden? Oh, Paimon knows. You're the type who feels awkward when there's nothing to talk about, right?
Nah, bukan begitu, Paimon.
I merely thought that we should give Navia some time to herself.
Huh? Why didn't you just say so then? Don't you think it's even more awkward to call us over like this and then have...
I suppose so. Ah, Sigewinne. I hope all is well with her these days. Her work in the fortress of Meropide has not been too much for her, has it?
No way, don't worry. She's doing fine down there. She's an amazing head nurse.
I see. Well, that is good. I have always worried that Sigewinne would need a lot of time to understand the world of humanity, just as I have.
Oh, and the Duke also says hi. Even though Sigewinne made him do that. He hopes that you haven't been overwhelmed by all that's happened lately.
Thank you. I have indeed been busy lately. And I also hope that everything is going well in the fortress of Meripede.
He still doesn't know what to talk about. Let's chat about something else then.
Emang paling bapak coba kasih ide.
So, Neverlet, you're probably quite the swimmer, huh?
Apaan sih anjing?
Yes, of course.
This isn't going anywhere. Let's try something else. How did you find these ruins? Did the knave tell you?
Yes, in fact. I had arranged to meet you in Poisson, but when I arrived, I discovered that the Fatui were helping the residents evacuate. They had even transported a large quantity of supplies to the area. Amid my astonishment, I ran into the knave, and we had a chat. She informed me that she had asked you to investigate the ancient ruins here.
Yeah, we originally planned to meet up with you, but we thought you might still be busy with all those official documents. We didn't think exploring the ruins would take very long, and who would have thought you'd wrap things up so quickly?
Oh, cinta ini membunuh.
I'm sorry to have kept you all waiting like that. I'm feeling much better now. I guess we should get going again. Will you come with us, Monsieur Neuvillette?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind my company.
All right! Another one joins the party! Let's get going then!
Bentar, azan. Oh, azab sih. Bentar ya, azan. Oke, lanjut ya. Tapi aku udahan jam 1:30 apa jam 2 lah. Nah, pokoknya kayaknya ini cepat lah, bakal itu. Oke, lanjut.
Illusion shut.
Order guide you. Solidify.
No, my sword. Rain outlines your fate. Witness the...
Hey!
Kok kameranya gini lagi? Apa jangan-jangan jadi jatuh lagi nih ntar nih? Tapi jujur, ini pemandangannya bagus banget, Cok. Serius dah. Ini Remuria gitu loh. Nggak jatuh lagi kan?
Oh no, another unstable path. Watch your step.
Nggak mau. Shit man, kata gue mah. Ini ke bawah apa ke atas? Bawah mati tadi. Ay. Kayak ada suara motor.
Shine down.
Ini lo semua.
Committed to memory.
Oh, ada mulu sih anjir. Bentar, kayaknya gua ada chest gak sih? Ada chest. Oh, nggak ada deh. Jatuh lagi nih. Gak bisa. Nggak bisa. Sabar. Ada chest, mantap. Satu lagi dong. Aduh, nggak bisa buka ini ya. Shit lah. Ada lagi nih.
Illusion shadow.
Yap, benar aja.
I will have order. Gather.
Ring cutter.
Sharing my knowledge.
Torn to oblivion. Shine down.
Nggak ada chest lagi kah? Oke. Kayak nggak full. Baru gue bilang. Mantap. ...200 meter anjir, jauh banget. ...100 km/jam ini. Nyari chest dulu, Hidup bentar. Kenapa ditutup? Gue nggak takut, Cok. Jangan tutup. Oke, nggak ada.
Looks like we've reached the end.
This is the place. There should not be any other hidden spaces in the vicinity.
The path sure had some twists and turns, but it turns out that this place isn't actually that big.
Seperti ada sesuatu di dekat batu.
Stone slates. It seems like they were put here as an offering. Could we take them down and have a look?
Perhaps we should just leave them be for now.
There are 4 locations in total, but only 3 stone slates. The slate that should be in the first empty spot is missing.
The surrounding walls also show signs of damage.
There's something written below. Let Paimon see. Reason dictates that this nation be destroyed. I shall record the history of its future here in its past. Say what?
It feels like someone left these slates and these words here for a purpose. But does he mean that Fontaine should be destroyed?
That would fit the circumstances dictated by the prophecy, yes. Indeed, the slate's contents correspond to it. Take the second slate, for example.
There's a person kneeling here. She seems so dedicated. And there's a whole bunch of other people behind her doing the same. She's facing this... what is this? Some kind of island in the sky?
Celestia.
And is that Lady Farina in the third image? Did the Hydro Archon fall into the water?
And is that a ring of people around her? Paimon doesn't quite get it. Are they all in the water?
The fourth image. I know this one. This exactly matches the content of the prophecy.
The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne.
Oh. Udah, Ben.
More information should be hidden in these slates, but I fear I cannot easily uncover it, most likely due to us missing the first slate.
Don't blame yourself, Monsieur Neuvillette. Deciphering ancient stone slates isn't one of your duties.
Ooh, Paimon's getting the chills just looking at these slates. This says that it's the history of the future, right? That means the prophecy's sure to come true.
I really hope it doesn't mean that.
Still, Paimon feels like these images are kind of weird when you look at them together.
Masalahnya ada tergambar.
That's right! If the images are in chronological order, shouldn't the fourth, the waters drowning Fontaine, come before the third, where the Hydro Archon herself falls into the water?
And yet the order is reversed here.
Huh?
If we go by timing, Lady Farina only emerges in the third image. That means that the person in the second image might be the previous Hydro Archon.
Egeria, then. I had never met her, but her appearance here does match the records.
Yeah.
The previous Archon kneeling before the floating island in the skies, as if confessing a sin.
Did she herself commit that sin? And if not, why would she be in such a posture? Also, I'm still wondering why these ancient stone slates are here at all. Judging from their contents, could this place be the origin of the prophecy? Does that mean that someone, or some people, once saw these slates?
But who would have created these slates and left these words here?
Siapa?
It seems that any further clues will have to come from Farina.
In that case, there's no time to lose. There's nothing else to be gained here, so let's head back first.
Cara gimana?
Yeah, we better get somewhere safe for now.
Idi, tantangan berhasil. Bentar. Mantap. Gila, kita bisa ada nama Neville kayaknya dapet sih ini. Kayaknya enggak juga. Bejir. Satu putih ya.
Let's split up here. I'm going to check on what's happening with the Spina. You know how it is. There's some things you just need to be there for yourself.
You still have energy for that, Navia? Paimon's already beat.
Just head back to the Fleuve Cendre and have a rest then.
Thanks for keeping me company all this time.
I'll depart as well. Thanks for your hard work today. Rest well, everyone. Traveler, I will go talk to Farina tomorrow morning to ask about the stone slates. I'm sure that you're concerned about this matter as well. If you have time, drop by my office. I will share the results of our discussion with you.
Are you really gonna talk to her about this directly? Will that be a problem?
She has long been harboring secrets and will not give them up easily, which makes it all the more my duty to ensure that she understands the present situation.
Alright, we'll leave it in your hands then. You're probably the best person to talk to her anyway.
I will be carefully considering my words tonight.
Traveler, Paimon, our safe house at the Fleuve Cendre is always open to you, as ever. So please don't think you're an imposition. All right. I'll be on my way then.
Okay. Yakin dan David berangkat, kamu dari Paimon pergi. Okay.
We're finally back!
Welcome back. We've got a special menu prepared for you two tonight.
Yay! And there's good food too! Navi, no, the boss is the best. Ooh, desserts! Nice, these are all Paimon's! Paimon's already starting to forget what happened today.
Oh, that voice. Is that who I think it is?
Lah, ada Mona?
It's you two. What are you doing in Fontaine?
Ada Mona sih?
Mona?
Seriously, nobody just uses a scry glass whenever they've got time to just see who they'll meet on the road.
Still, we didn't expect to see you here. Wait, you're not a Fontanian, are you, Mona?
Well, I have some business to attend to here, so I booked a hotel in the city. I was just out for a stroll when I bumped. Why did you think I was from Fontaine, though? Is that because Magistus doesn't sound much like a Mondstadter surname?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Well, I used to have my own surname, which was, well, some other thing. Either way, the old hag told me when she took me as her disciple that the first step to being a great astrologist's pupil was to... There was nothing for it, really. She really is amazing at astrology, so I changed my name to what it is now according to her wishes. To my surprise, however, Magistus is not the name of some ancient house or clan.
It isn't?
Nope. Although it is used by us in place of surnames, it generally just means great.
Wow! Imagine including a boast in your name. Wait, are you gonna have to put that into your genealogy as well?
I reckon so. In any case, I'd give my disciple a name like this as well, if I were to take one. Astromancer Barbaloth Trismegistus.
Barbaloth?
Whoa, that's a long one. Does it also mean great or something?
My name means Mona the Great Astrologist. As for the old hag, hers is, in plain speech, the thrice-as-great Scholar of the Stars. Just take it as a title specific to astrologists.
Thrice as great? That's so... petty.
I know, right? That's just how she is. She used to call herself Magistus, actually, but when she took me in, she changed her name to Trismegistus.
Talk about excessive.
Magistus is thus the calling card of our school, so to speak, which makes it about the same as a surname. It's all right if you don't get it. You can look into it further should you need to study astrology more deeply.
That sounds terrible! But anyway, you're not Fontanian, are you, Mona? You're from Mondstadt, right?
Well, I was born in Mondstadt, yes. My parents migrated to Dornman Port, and I traveled with the old hag for a while, after which I settled down in Mondstadt City.
Oh, that's a good thing then. At least we know you won't be dissolved by Fontaine's waters.
Speaking of that, I'm sure you're aware that a bunch of things have happened here in Fontaine, right? I know you're not a local, but I'd avoid getting too close to any water that looks strange all the same.
Okay.
There's something ominous about it. Well, the water, I mean. That was the main reason, yes. Just a while back, the Steambird invited me to take part in a panel and speak about the circulation of the prophecy as an astrologist. The invitation was sent quite early on. I don't think anyone expected Fontaine to be in this much trouble.
What do you make of that prophecy, Mona? Just tell us what you think as an astrologist. Your word would go a long way to make things more certain and less scary.
What I can tell you is that I'm an astrologist, and that this prophecy concerns the fate of Fontaine, even that of all Tevat. Ascertaining this is akin to reading the fortune of the whole world. I'm afraid that this is not something that just anyone can do. If I could do it, you would no longer call me an astrologist, but a visionary. But on the flip side, the prophecy is so huge and powerful that it must surely come from a powerful visionary. Its contents involve the fate of the world. Disregarding it would be a mistake.
A visionary? Sounds really powerful and all, but does such a person really exist?
Of course. The old hag could do it, and I'd bet there are others amongst those Hexenzirkel colleagues of hers who could do something similar. Huh? Are you sure? All right, I'll help you. It isn't often that I see you with such a serious look on your face.
Thanks, Mona. You're amazing as always.
Oh, well, this is something only I can do after all. So yes, your praises are quite welcome.
That's the greatest of astrologists for you! Of all the people we know, you know the star's the best!
Indeed, indeed. That's the spirit.
Oh, sorry. I came to see what all the commotion was about. If there's anything you need, do not hesitate to inform the Spina di Rosula.
Oh, whoops. Guess we were getting a little too carried away there. Well, I'll go tend to my own business now. If I receive any news, I'll be sure to come find you two again.
Okay.
And there she goes, quick as rushing water. And here we are with the Spina guy giving us suspicious looks. If Paimon hadn't spoken for you, it'd be you getting all the weird looks. Huh. The things Paimon does for you. That's more like it. Good morning. To be honest, Paimon's still feeling kind of sleepy. But it's time to get up, Traveler. We agreed to go see Neuvillette, so let's pack it up and get going.
Pergi ke kantor Lewat. Bentar ya, Ci. Ah, ini dia. Hah? Ah, tunggu deh. Lah, kok nggak ada sneaker? Tadi berapa dah? Ih, tadi berapa cok signaturnya? Itu berapa anjay? Tadi berapa? Ajar signatur gue berapa dah tadi? Ajar signatur gue berapa cari cok? Itunya. Oke, 48. Tambah 1, 49 ya. Oke. Ya 49 berarti. Cut 9. Tapi aku mau istirahat dulu. Bentar. Tadi ya. Bentar. Halo. Alah.
You're here! Finally!
Is something wrong?
Monsieur Neurvalette and Lady Farina, they seem to have gotten into a dispute. Please go see for yourself.
Sedih.
Like I said, I've already explained everything.
And yet the problem has not been properly solved. There is little space for excuses between us. It is not my intention to offend you, but please, tell me where you stand. You are the Hydro Archon Focalor, are you not? Look at this. This is a list of the victims from the recent Poisson incident.
You mean... they're all...
We did not arrive in time to avert this disaster, and I will not have it happen again. I will say this once more. You must tell me everything you know. Yesterday, I found 3 stone slates in some ancient ruins near Poisson. Do you know anything about those?
Seriously? You're questioning me like this is a court case now. I don't know anything about that. But you found them in some ancient ruins, you say?
That's correct, which is why I came to ask you some questions. There should have been 4 slates, but one of them was missing. The other 3 feature different images that seem to correlate to the prophecy.
The prophecy?
The second of these slates depicts the previous Hydro Archon Egeria kneeling before a floating island in the sky, as if confessing something. Do you know nothing of this either?
I don't. I've never seen such slates.
I'll ask you again. Do you really have no information regarding the previous Archon? My deciphering of the slates indicates that the Hydro Archon Egeria once had to confess to, or apologize for, a certain sin. If anyone would know about it, it should be you.
All gods don't have the same secrets, you know. She was herself and I'm me. Is it really so strange that I know nothing? I understand your concerns, but I'm sorry. I just don't have anything to tell you.
Forgive me for saying this now, Lady Farina, but I have long known of your various secret investigations into certain matters. There are several indications that you have been investigating the prophecy on the sly. This is not strange in itself, considering that you are the Hydro Archon. But it is strange that you should also claim to not know any of Egeria's secrets, as well as do nothing following your inquiries. You have never been as superficial as you have presented yourself to be, nor are you a fool. And yet, your behavior is very inconsistent.
So you've been watching me all this time, have you? I didn't think you were that type.
You...
Well, since you know about my secret investigations, then you should know I'm actually working to take care of it. There's no point questioning or suspecting me. You're the Eudix, but you're still my subordinate. You should be following my lead. Just trust in me, you're Archon, and do as I say. Never mind whether you can truly convince yourself to or not. It'll all turn out fine. That's all I have to say. We do not discuss this matter again. Oh, the opera's about to start. Toodles!
Kabur. What?
Did Farina not notice us standing by the door? Wonder what's up with her. She was smiling. She didn't seem in the mood to care if we were listening in or not.
I assume you've been outside for a while now?
Oh, you noticed. Seems Farina didn't even realize we were here.
She was in a great panic, though I cannot discern the reason. Our discussion reached impasses time and again, a state of affairs that we cannot allow to continue. Still, I do not understand. Dialogue is the basis for understanding, so why did she keep refusing to engage? Everyone in her inner circle has noticed that she is hiding some secret. The issue is her attitude. I fear that she will not reveal anything unless absolutely forced to. We will have to create a situation in which she will have no choice but to speak.
Oh? Like what?
Normally, people will only reveal the truth when standing trial. Perhaps we must have the Hydro Archon experience just such a scenario.
But Farina's seen so many trials, and she's really good at dodging questions. How do we make sure that she won't just slip away at the first chance she gets?
We will need to consider this thoroughly, join forces with various parties, and then do what we can. If at all possible, I would prefer to recuse myself from this affair, but we must prevent the prophecy from coming to pass. This may be cruel to her, but all Fontaine is in crisis. The information a god possesses is too precious, and so we must take a chance on this. But who will lend us their aid to do such a thing?
Significa.
Speaking of which, it was pretty smart of you to think of hiding here.
Poisson was just involved in a disaster, so it's presently devoid of people. That naturally makes it the best choice.
And here you are drinking tea like it's the most natural thing in the world, huh?
That's what families should do. Sit and enjoy a leisurely time together.
It's nice to enjoy tea here, you know? Care for a cup?
Lend me your ears, everyone. Or perhaps one of you might like to start us off. How about you, friend?
Me? No, I don't think I can.
Then, how about you, good sir?
I fear that I will cause the mood on this boat to become as somber as it is in court.
Well then, I guess we're lucky we've got a local like me to organize things. Wonderful, the spotlight at last.
That was a little long-winded, don't you think?
Oh, you might be right. Anyway, to cut to the chase, our friend here, the Traveler, has brought us together to discuss something. As for what that is, well, let's start by saying that we'll be pooling our efforts together to create a series of traps.
Oh, how intriguing.
Well, it's just an expression, really. One that I just learned from Chlorand, and used on the spot. So, let's invite her to explain in detail.
Huh? Didn't you say that you would be facilitating this?
Oh, come now. Your work doesn't involve much public speaking, right? This is a good chance to practice. You might even pick up some fancy oratory tricks to impress your boss with in the future.
I see. And what does my boss say?
He is glad that you consider him your boss. Do go on.
In that case, do any of you have experience hunting?
Not that I recall.
Fremine and I once used a wooden stick in a basket to catch wild rabbits when we were younger. As for Lynette, oh, right. You were sick that day, weren't you?
I've also gone diving to catch some fish before. Does that count?
I'm afraid not. You may or may not have heard, but Fontaine once played host to a group known as the Marechaussee Hunters. Though that was their name, they did not hunt animals, but rather various monsters left behind by the ancient dynasty of King Remus. Today, Fontaine's monster population has already thinned greatly, so the hunters have blended back into society, taking up arms in other lines of work. A trap comprises of the following components: bait, a trigger, and a containment device. Sometimes a lethal implement will also be necessary to deal with the prey. So, if we were to build a trap together, right now, what would you choose to build it with?
For me, I would prefer something basket-shaped. Pigeons and rabbits will see the bait and naturally enter the snare. Our line of work requires a deft hand, and we're some of the best in the industry, so you can count on our techniques.
You used some of those techniques while moving the people of Poisson, didn't you? My subordinates mentioned that you even performed some magic for the bawling children.
Yes, and I even managed to gather some intelligence in the meantime. I'm quite the multitasker if I do say so myself.
I'm afraid I can't claim that as my strong suit. I prefer more stable methods, like placing bait in the water and waiting for the fish to come within reach.
Calm and steady. Exactly the kind of person who would catch loads of fish.
And I can be their assistant.
With discretion, I'm sure.
I'd probably use some sort of mechanical animal. Papa once bought me some small clockwork squirrels, mice, and such. When placed in the forest, they can attract others of their kind. I remember that you liked those too, didn't you?
I did. And that would be a good way to go about it. If they're realistic enough, animals of the same kind will follow them all the way to the trap.
What about you, Monsieur Neuvillette?
I fear I do not have any related experience.
That makes sense. You usually solve problems directly, without the use of any such tricks. But I do have one more question for you, Monsieur.
Sure.
If we were to create a trap now, how would you design it?
and would like for it to be effective but bring no harm to the prey. A more gentle trap would be ideal.
Kind as always. However, our intention doesn't necessarily change the containment device and the type of implement we need. If we wanted to kill the prey in one strike, we would need a powerful implement. However, that also goes for prey that must be captured and safely contained.
Wait, why's that?
Only a hunter who's a true expert at subduing their prey can snare it without harming it. The line that divides life and death is often exceedingly thin.
So are we going hunting together?
Huh. We hadn't thought of seeing ourselves as hunters. It kinda works, but maybe it's still not the best metaphor.
If our means of capturing and dealing with our prey is to put them on trial, then the hunting metaphor is actually quite accurate. But we shall require much more courage than any hunter to judge a god, a being whose seat is an exalted throne.
Oh, so that's what's going on. Sounds very interesting.
Oke, lanjut. Terakhir ya. Di atas dia. Oh enggak, di bawah ya? Oh iya benar. Ini penculikan, Cok.
Illusion shattered.
It's been a tough few days, hasn't it? So much has been happening. Paimon didn't think the meetings would go on for so long, but everyone seemed pretty fired up, huh? Paimon thought they'd be at least a little frightened. Well, Fremine was, now that Paimon thinks about it, but everyone else just looked a little surprised. Well... It's hard to say. Paimon doesn't have any experience with this sort of thing. But with you around, Paimon sure will do great. After all, you're the most reliable person in the world, aren't you? Huh? Did you just pour some tea? Paimon didn't notice you doing that at all.
Aduh, gua kenapa ini?
Then what's that? Paimon's never seen that cup before.
Don't be frightened. I'm just joining you two for tea. I merely refrained from saying anything till now.
Who's that voice? But there's no one here.
Ah, have you forgotten me already?
Wait, you are familiar. You're the voice we heard from the sky in Sumeru.
The voice from the sky, I fear that description is wrong. Though, not completely wrong. You're feeling lost now, just as you were feeling previously. I sensed that confusion and thus came to you. Consider me a passerby, just accepting a commission from my friend's disciple on a whim.
Oh.
The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled. You may view such things as the history of the future.
What? Then is there any way we can stop it?
I believe you have witnessed a failed attempt with your own eyes. Can everything in Teyvat so easily be changed? Ah, so you've caught on. Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, are the things that you shall see different from the fate that the gods perceive?
What is she talking about? It all sounds really impressive and important and stuff, but it also sounds kind of scary.
I believe that you understand, right? Some things are insignificant, but others you must reach out to change. Ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Teyvat's future. All you need to do is to play your part. This was good tea, by the way. Thank you for your hospitality. Well, that'll be all for today.
The voice. It's gone. I want to hear someone talking. All right, coming. Hey, it's you who's getting lazy, okay?
Well, I see I've walked in on some lively banter. Fine, just fine. I went to take part in that Steambird panel. It turned out to be more interesting than I... Not all Fontanians are pessimistic about this. One journalist mentioned that sitting around and waiting for the end to come would be wrong, and...
Did she have pink hair by any chance?
Why, yes, it was Charlotte. I assume you've heard of her, no? That daredevil journalist? I'm in full support of her view. Prophecies are very important, but how can people allow their lives to be commandeered by just a few words?
That's right! Paimon's glad to hear something sensible for once.
Ah, yes. About what we had discussed before. I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't reach the old hag. I'll try again tonight, but I wouldn't get your hopes up. Huh? Goodness gracious. Are you serious?
She said that even the god's gaze has blind spots. Pretty bold if you ask Paimon. Most people would believe the gods to be all-knowing, right?
The Hexen Circle members are certainly anything but ordinary. As for the mage named N, the old hag has mentioned her a few times. She said that N's sense of direction is incredible, and that she loves guiding those who are lost. But I've never met her, and if she were still alive, she'd be... Well, suffice it to say that the hag's at least a few hundred now, and N's been around for longer than that.
Whoa. The Hexen Circle sounds like a scary group. But they must really stay in shape to live so long.
Their abilities alone are pretty terrifying. If she came to see you personally, then the problem you're facing must truly be of great importance.
Well, it's not like Paimon could understand anything she said.
Yes, she was quite cryptic, but I suspect she means that there is still a way to turn things around. She didn't say when or what that would be, though, so perhaps it is something that you cannot know right now. Traveler, Paimon, are you two all right?
Oh, we're fine. We're just a little down right now. It kind of feels like the end is coming, you know?
I see. I feel that same sense of desperation, too. I guess you could consider me someone who has often witnessed fate. So far as I have seen, it cannot be swayed. But even so, I still hope for, and believe in, miracles. Astrology is eternal and rational, but fate may not be. It is cruel, but it can also be beautiful. Perhaps that's what En was trying to tell you. Not to lose heart, and to believe that what you are seeing playing out before you is not yet set in stone. I did originally think of steering clear of all this, but I couldn't. Even if this is all futile, I still wish to help everyone. If we don't struggle to the last, then how can we face the end when it comes?
Huh. you do have a point.
There I
Dua orang
go,
nonton
talking about
setia banget.
astrological principles again. Sorry about that. The moment I start talking about work-related stuff. I need to get going. It was worth trying to comfort you, even if only a little. I believe that you'll help those who are struggling in the same way I did. I suppose that might be why we always seem to meet by coincidence.
Paimon feels kinda moved by what Mona said. But also kinda sad, too. Hey, Traveler. Paimon suddenly feels like going outside for a walk. Let's go.
Lapar, Cok.
Let's walk around the city, shall we? There's a few spots we always like to walk by.
Sini ya. Ya. Oke, surat kabar.
Huh? Our names are written in this newspaper. What's going on? Let Paimon see! The underwater stronghold, the Fortress of Meripede, has continued in its noble autonomy, but that does not mean that others cannot interact with it. My recent attempts to enter the fortress bore little fruit. Huh. Guess Charlotte still hasn't given up on that. Thus, did an Outlander friend become the focus of this report, a blonde adventurer with their white fairy legends trailing in their wake. It is said that this mysterious traveler once visited the underwater fortress. So while the fortress's interior remains a mystery behind closed doors, do not fear, for the tales of the traveler contain surprises in spades. Journalist Charlotte's biggest scoop yet, the Traveler's Trail, World Walker. Huh. Charlotte took so many awesome photos of us and we never even noticed her. She hasn't been able to get a hold of anything at the fortress, so since we're easier to find, she's using us as the subject matter instead? Ugh, seriously? Well, fine. Those headlines and photos do look cool, so Paimon will forgive her this time.
Mana lagi? Terus maju. Iya. Iya.
We're here! Paimon's hungry. Should we go in and get something to eat?
Paimon makan mulu sih. Makanan orang kaya, Cok.
Hey, quick! Look! That's the limited edition only 16 slices a day cake! It was so delicious the last time we tried it, despite the tense situation we were in.
One slice of cake, please.
Someone showed up after all! Oh, wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonia.
Oh, are you here to buy cake too? It seems Monsieur Nervalette was right. You really can eat.
Wait, did he really say something like that?
That's right. Even he has his own preferences when it comes to food. As for me, I love the cake and coffee here.
Do you come here often?
Usually every day.
Every day?
It's part of my daily schedule, apart from work. I shall have my cake and coffee.
Then what if someone told you one day that this place would be closing soon, and you wouldn't get to eat cake here anymore?
But why would it close?
Well, Paimon doesn't know either, but maybe the waters will rise tomorrow.
Oh, the prophecy. To be honest, I haven't paid much attention to that. No, still, even if there'd be no more cake tomorrow, that wouldn't keep me from having some today.
Anjir, bodo amat orangnya.
It's the same for eating in general. You might not be able to eat tomorrow, but if you can do so today, then you should carry on. That's what people call living, you know.
Bener juga.
Huh.
Don't be sad. Excuse me, could I have 2 more slices of cake to go? These 2 slices are for you. Sijuin said that this kind of expression you're making is what humans call being sad.
Oh, you know Sijuin?
I sure do. She was born before me, and she sometimes comes to the surface to teach us things about humans. She said that humans are creatures that are saddened easily, yes, and you can only lift their spirits by feeding them delicious food. So please try the cakes here. I've got something else to do, so I'll be going now. You two try to stay in a good mood after eating, all right? Bye.
And there she goes. All right, let's dig in. I'm unsure this cake will be delicious.
Hah? Ya elah. Jaringan. Ada apa jaringan anjir? No, jaringan no. Ampas banget jaringan, Cok. What the hell? Oh my god, no way. Lah. Masa kayak gini sih? Lah. Cacat sebentar, Cok. Aku mau main, dikit lagi selesai. Udahan aja kali ya? Penanggung cuy, satu sedikit lagi aja. Shit, bentar. Oh shit. Ini kayak masalah di rotornya deh ini. Oh. Bisa akhirnya. Bentar ya, bentar. Salah. Nah. Aha. Kayaknya aku harus udahan deh. Ntar deh, itu dulu. Lah, ulang lagi.
Hey, quick! Look! That's the limited edition, only 60. It was so delicious the last...
One slice of cake, please.
Someone showed up after all. Oh, wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonia.
Oh, are you here to buy cake too?
Wait.
That's right.
Do you come here often?
Usually every day.
Every day?
It's part of my daily...
Then what if someone...
But why would it...
Well...
Oh, the prom... No, it's...
Huh.
Don't be sad. Excuse me, could I have these 2 slices are for you? Sijuin said that this kind of expression you're making is what humans call being sad.
Aku ngeliat streaming orang lain juga kayak ada yang udah gede-gede tuh. Buat mabar apa main bareng dihargain gitu. Emang kayaknya aku masih terjebak sama masa lalu deh, kayak ayo main bareng kayak gitu. Kayak mau mabar aja harus bayar aja.
Oh, you know Sijuin?
Terus herannya tuh orang tuh mau gitu ngebayar. Aku bingung, Cok.
I sure do. She was born before me, and she sometimes comes to the surface to teach us. She said that I've got something else to do, so...
And there she goes. All right, let's dig in. It's more delicious. Sure would be nice if we could always eat delicious.
Tinggalkan hotel di port. Kayaknya bentar lagi selesai gak sih? Masih lama gak sih?
Oh, we're near the Seabird office. Let's go look for Charlotte and have a chat.
Kayaknya udah dulu deh. Wah. Ntar aku mau lihat PT-nya dulu. Oke. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Oh, 49 bener kan? Oke, jangan dulu deh. Aku juga mau makan dan juga mau ngelakuin hal yang lain. Oke guys, yang udah nonton sampai akhir ini 2 orang, sumpah 2 orang. Siapa sih ini 2 orang? Kayaknya masih Grama ini sih sama si Hafiz yang nonton. Tinggi banget yang udah nonton ya. Makasih juga like-nya. Aja ya, 10. Thank you guys. Terima kasih dan sampai jumpa di next stream. Anjay. Udah kayak YouTuber gede. Ya udah, gitulah intinya. Oke, thank you. Bye bye. Terima kasih. Terima kasih.